Good morning, Knights. Welcome to RT Magazine, a show about Middletown High School, its students, and the community. News about you and for you. I'm Carson Houck. In this week's episode, I interview the counselors and a mental health worker about teenage mental health. Natalie McCord interviews student songwriters about their music and processes behind creating it. I give a review of the show Better Call Saul. And Ginger Pieklo interviews Kathryn Hale, the new social studies teacher. This week's show is brought to you by
located on 14 West Main Street.
In our first segment, I interview the counselors and a mental health worker about teenage mental health. Hi, my name is Carson Houck, a senior here at MHS. I've made so many memories here at Middletown. In my 4 years here, well, not really 4, like 3.5, maybe not even that. I missed my freshman year because of... I've made friends, I've found passions. I got accepted to the college I will be attending to in the fall, and it is my dream school. I also have depression, and have been seeing a therapist since I was 8 years old. You may be thinking, wow, okay, that came out of nowhere. One sec he's talking about how good things have been, and then he comes out and says that. Yeah, I agree. It's a weird thing to talk about, but it's something necessary that our generation doesn't talk nearly enough about. What do we not talk about, you may ask? The rise of mental health disorders in teenage in the last decade. Today I sat down with trained individuals in the field of mental health. Lauren Anderson, who works as a rehab specialist, and Ms. Brashear, a counselor here at Middletown High School, to talk about what we've neglected to and have taught ourselves to keep quiet. This is a look inside the teenage mental health crisis, the unspoken danger of our generation.
My name is Lauren Anderson, and I am a rehabilitation specialist. I work primarily with people recovering from substance and mental health disorders and diseases, and I work, as I mentioned, I don't know if I did actually or not, that I work in a rehabilitation home, so I work in people's homes and see their daily lives. And I also wanted to mention, my opinions of mental health do not reflect those of every single theory, every single organization, any professional, mental health professional. I'm speaking from experience and from my level of professional understanding, which is entry level, and as a teen advocate for mental health.
With teenage depression cases over doubling percentage-wise over the last 10 years, what are some factors that play into that?
Well, they've been skyrocketing forever, Everyone talks about the different identity crises that teenagers go through. It's normal to go through phases of, I want to do this when I'm older. I want to be this. I want to interact with these people. These people are cool. I want to be friends with them. There's so much pressure to conform and so much pressure to blend in and be a part of a community.
To measure up to their peers. One of the other ones that we see in school is based on academics. The pressure to be perfect, the pressure to have straight A's and get high grades so they can get into the right college. Those are some of the major stressors that we see. And I think the other thing that we need to consider is just being overbooked. I think a lot of us really try to be part of a lot of different organizations and different things in our community, which is great, but we need to know that we can say no.
Now, there's a multitude of reasons, like they said, why depression and anxiety can form within teenagers, but the main reason is, sorry, someone texted me.
No, you may hear differing answers about whether or not social media is the issue or is the core of the problem. If you talk to an older population, I'm sure they would say, yes, absolutely, it is a part of the problem. Younger people might argue that it gives them a sense of that community and validation that they seek.
All right, I think that social media can be a large problem for a lot of today's youth. There's just a lot of comparing yourself to one another. And also, if you're not practicing strong digital citizenship as a peer, and you're deciding to put someone down online, you don't know, you don't see the ramifications and the effects on that person at the time. It's just instant gratification for yourself, maybe due to your own insecurities, that creates this huge problem within social media.
We can't talk about depression and anxiety without talking about what these cases have unfortunately led to. If you are sensitive to these topics, I recommend tuning out for the next few minutes. I'll tell you when to come back, don't worry. Suicide is the 11th leading cause of death in the US alone, with on average across the world 700,000 deaths a year and millions more of attempts, meaning tens of thousands happen every single day, meaning every 40 seconds someone takes their own life. But what causes suicide? Depression, anxiety, money, abuse, and so many more factors go into it.
Some of the organizations that we have here in Frederick County that students can reach out to would be the Mental Health Association of Frederick County. They are awesome. If you're feeling like you need maybe a walk-in evaluation done to see if you need mental health services, that would be a great place to go. They have services into the evening hours. Another different resource that we have, and it's a national resource, is the 988 number. If you feel that you are in crisis, or even if you know someone else that's in crisis that's causing you a lot of stress and anxiety about their situation, you can always dial 988 and talk to a counselor at that moment, even if it's at midnight or later than that. And you can text that number as well.
In our next segment, Natalie McCord dives into the talent that our very own Middletown students have to offer.
'Cause I'm doing it all for you. This hope of it to me, I made for you. You make me sick, I'm turning greenish blue. Your favorite color, yeah, it's all for you. And not even the moon could explain.
Tonight I feel like a soldier through wars who never got closure. You left me here just asking how. The days get long and times get tough. I'm over with and done with love.
Songwriters and music producers are not all recognized or known by their student body. Senior Kai Austin and sophomore Zoe Folland share information about their music and who they are as musicians.
I'm kind of just like a do whatever I feel like a guy. Whenever I get like motivation to make music, I make it. I play a few instruments, guitar, piano. A lot of my music is about girls that don't exist, that I just kind of make up stories.
As a musician, I'm very expressive and emotional. My music is about my mom, people that I love, people that I've lost.
The songwriting process isn't any easy process. There are many pieces and factors that go into creating a song and making it successful.
Whenever I get into writing a song, I hop in a call with one of my friends, and me and him, we just like bounce lines off of each other, and I like to write a line, record it, write a line, record it, and then we just go back and forth.
Usually lyrics will come to me at the most random place ever, on the bus, in the shower. I'll keep saying those lyrics multiple times so I don't forget them, and then when I'm finally in my bedroom, I will sit down, turn off all the lights, and just start writing.
Some musicians produce entirely on their own by using computer programs, and some have recording artists who assist in the process.
I use a free software called BandLab.
BandLab is a social music platform that enables creators to make music and share their creative process with musicians and fans. BandLab combines music making and collaboration tools with social features like video sharing and messaging.
My recording artist, she doesn't really tell me anything, so we go to her house, I sit in the studio, I record a little into the microphone, and she plays it back to me, and that's it.
Zoe shared she hasn't made many public releases yet, but Kai explains where he releases his music and talks about his studio space.
Everywhere. I use DistroKid. It releases it to Apple Music, Spotify. I post most of my music videos and a lot of other stuff on YouTube. Recently, this summer, I built a recording studio that is all foam panels, it has a mic stand, and a little chair, and it's this tiny little closet.
Almost everyone has a musician who inspires them. Kai and Zoe shared their inspirations.
Band-wise, my music inspiration is probably Pierce the Veil. I think they have a lot of good messages, and their songs are really beautiful to me.
Very big inspiration is Joe G. He's one of my favorite artists. I've taken a lot of inspiration from his style, his very calm voice, and I've used a lot of his kind of beats and everything to record my music. And I take a lot of inspiration from this artist that not a lot of people know. His name is Breakins. He's this hyperpop artist. I don't make hyperpop music, but it's just the way he makes his music, and the way he makes sure every noise fits in perfectly. I try and channel that energy into my music.
Zoe says her musical inspirations come from some personal experiences as well.
A person that gives me a lot of inspiration is my mom, because I lost her a while ago, and she was so beautiful and so nice, and I try and reflect that in a lot of my music.
In Frederick, the School of Rock is known to help many student artists to get a start on creating and producing music. Zoe shares her experiences and what she's learned.
I learned to sing on my own, but I really started getting into using my voice in a better way when I took lessons at the rock school. And that's where I learned to play bass, guitar, piano, drums.
Songwriting can be an overwhelming process, but Kai and Zoe share some advice and share why they want listeners.
Advice I would give to a student songwriter is bring a notebook everywhere, because I cannot stress the amount of times I have lost good lyrics because I didn't write them down. So have a notebook, a sketchbook, something that you can write lyrics down just on a whim.
My advice for people just starting out is focus on the craft of it. Focus on learning how to mix vocals, how to make a beat, whatever you want to do. Focus on that before you focus on building social media or going out trying to get gigs. Just focus on the craft and getting good material.
People should listen to my music because I put a lot of thought and effort and feeling into it, and everything that I write is meaningful, and I put a little piece of me into everything that I write.
You should listen to my music because I put a lot of effort into it. It's been a long time coming to get to where I am now. I also make pretty cool music videos with my friends. It's very fun. It's very fun, and you should listen because of that.
Wondering if I had a chance to will I miss. And now I'm walking around the yellow tape. How many chances will miss? What do I take?
In our next segment, I give an honest rundown and review on the goated show, Better Call Saul. All right, I've submitted my last thing for journalism. I'm done. It's over. I'm no longer the weather guy, even though Josh is kind of the weather guy, but I'm done. It's over. I'm done. I forgot to do that. That's all. If you'll please excuse me, I have to go watch something. Almost 4 months later, and on the very last day of my senior year, I bring to you what many of you have called my lasting image on the school. Making videos about Breaking Bad, or in this case, the prequel series. For those who are so blissfully unaware, I gave a very quick review of the hit show Breaking Bad back in January, but now I'm coming at you with a more drawn-out review for a more drawn-out show. So here it is, my final project I will be submitting for a grade in high school. My review and rankings of Better Call Saul. The titular character, Saul Goodman, also known as Jimmy McGill, and as much as I hate to admit it, is a better character than Walter White, and I absolutely loved Walt as a character. And honestly, that goes for almost every single character in the show. Every single character is way more fleshed out in a way that Breaking Bad failed to do. Jimmy, or Saul,
he hates me that much? I hate him more!
the lawyer from Breaking Bad, is basically just a scam artist, but gosh, does he do it well. For some quick backstory, because we only have about 5 minutes, Jimmy's brother Chuck was also a lawyer at one of the biggest firms, HHM.
You think this is bad? This chicanery? He's done worse. That's billboard. Are you telling me that a man just happens to fall like that? No, he orchestrated it. Jimmy. He defecated through a sunroof.
Jimmy admired Chuck and studied in secret to become a lawyer, even passing the bar exam. Chuck denied Jimmy at every opportunity, turning Jimmy into the crooked lawyer that he was. Next on the list is Kim Wexler, and I love this character with every fiber of my being. She is one of the most, in my opinion, well-written TV show characters ever. She is also shown to be kind of a rule follower, always doing the right thing kind of lawyer in contrast to Jimmy. But for the short period of time she was married to him, she kind of showed her true colors a little bit, and you kind of find out that she is just as bad, if not worse than Jimmy ever was. Then there's Mike. Mike Ehrmantraut. He is the main driving force on how this show is even remotely connected to Breaking Bad, dealing with the cartel and that side of the story. I say that he really bridges the gap between the two shows because honestly, Better Call Saul really works as its own show without the cartel, but Mike, who is by far my favorite character, brings these two masterpieces together in a way. Then there's this dude, this dude, this dude, and this dude. This dude hates this dude. This dude also hates this dude. These two dudes hate those other two dudes. And then there's this dude. Nobody likes this dude. And so, since I can't really give that much away, my final rankings for the 6 seasons of Better Call Saul are as follows. In my number 1 spot, I have Season 5. In my number 2 spot, I have Season 4. In my number 3 spot, I have Season 6. In my number 4 spot, I have Season 3. In my number 5 spot, I have Season 1. In my number 6 spot, I have Season 2. I just did not like it. I hope I finally delivered on my promise for you guys. I'll see you right back in the studio in just a sec. In our final segment, Ginger Pieklo introduces us to the new social studies teacher at Middletown.
Kathryn Hale joins Middletown High School staff as the new social studies teacher.
I'm Ms. Hale. I'm a social studies teacher who transferred to Middletown from Frederick High School at the start of the school year. I'm a graduate of Hood College. That's how I wound up in Maryland.
Hale has been teaching history since the start.
Right now at Middletown, I am teaching AP U.S. Government and regular U.S. Government. So this is my 20th year now teaching here in Frederick County.
Hale shares her journey that got her here, along with the connections she's had prior and made along the way.
I actually knew some people. I had collaborated with both Ms. Thompson next door and Ms. Purcell just down the hall for years. I've known them for not even sure how long. Mr. Crompton used to teach at Frederick High, so I've known him for 20 years.
Hale has many hobbies outside of school.
I do a lot. I have an interest in reading, so I always set a very high reading goal every year, at least one book a week. I love to hike. So I'm on like a quest to hit every national park before I retire. So I am about halfway there at this point.
There are many interesting things about her, but Hale shares one fact in particular.
I guess a fun fact would be that I was born outside the United States. I'm an American citizen by birth, but was born in Germany, or West Germany back in the day, and have now traveled to 45 countries.
Miss Hale enjoys her time as a social studies teacher here at Middletown.
I think what I fell in love with is that every day in the classroom is a little bit different. You never exactly know what's going to happen. I also love my content, so that makes lesson planning for me more interesting. And then seeing whether something works or not and testing out new ideas, I just really enjoy working with young people. I think that's me in a nutshell.
That's it for this episode of RT Magazine, part of the Roundtable's multimedia experience. You can find all of our episodes on mhsroundtable.com, or you can download our app, student news source for access to our articles, videos, and podcasts. From all of us at the senior class here at RT, thank you very much for watching along over the last 4 years, and we wish you all the best. I'm Carson Houck.
I'm Madison Letter.
I'm Bailey Hardison.
I'm McKenna Dunn.
I'm Lucas Fink. I'm Josh Hauser.
I'm Asher Yarmus.
I'm Joseph Yarm.
I'm Brooklyn Benjaminson. And I'm Layla Melby.
Have a great weekend.